Good day, ma'am and classmates. I am Jazer Elrico from PMGO2, and the topic that they assigned to me is discuss the physiological effects of estrogen and progesterone. First, I will discuss to you what estrogen and progesterone means. What is estrogen? Any of a group of steroid hormones which promote the development and maintenance of female characteristics of the body. Such hormones are also produced artificially for use in oral contraceptives or to treat menopausal and menstrual disorders. Estrogen or oestrogen is a category of sex hormone responsible for the development and regulation of the female reproductive system and secondary sex characteristics. Next is progesterone. Progesterone is an endogenous steroid hormone that is commonly produced by the adrenal cortex as well as the gonads, which consist of the ovaries and the testes. Progesterone is also secreted by the ovarian corpus luteum during the first 10 weeks of pregnancy, followed by the placenta in the later phase of pregnancy. Physiological effects of estrogen. To regulating the menstrual cycle, estrogen affects the reproductive tract, the urinary tract, the heart, and the blood vessels, bones, breasts, skin, hair, mucous membranes, pelvic muscles, and the brain. And the physiological effects of progesterone. Progesterone levels begin to rise after ovulation through the end of the menstrual cycle. Symptoms of high progesterone are similar to premenstrual syndrome and can include anxiety and agitation, blasting, breast swelling and tenderness, depression, fatigue, and weight gain. That's all be. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Rosemary Urindain from 1Y PM GO2, and today I'm going to discuss about the process of hormonal regulation in females. Hormonal interaction between the hypothalamus, anterior pituitary gland, and ovaries regulates the female reproductive system. The hypothalamus secretes a small peptide gonadotropin-releasing hormone or GnRH, also known as luteinizing hormone releasing hormone. How do hormones regulate the reproductive system throughout life? The main reproductive hormones are estrogen and testosterone. Estrogen causes eggs to mature in ovaries once a girl hits puberty. These are then released at regular intervals during the menstrual cycle. Testosterone stimulates sperm production in males. How do hormones regulate the female reproductive system? Hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system involves hormone from the hypothalamus, pituitary, and ovaries. In females, FSH stimulates development of egg cells called ova, which develop in structures called follicles. Follicle cells produce the hormone inhibin, which inhibits FSH production. Hormonal regulation of female reproduction is an event that requires the coordination of peripheral organs with the nervous system to ensure that the internal and external environments are optimal for successful procreation of the species. This is accomplished by the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis that coordinates reproductive behavior with ovulation. The primary signal from the central nervous system is gonadotropin-releasing hormone or GnRH, which modulates the activity of anterior pituitary gonadotropes, regulating follicle stimulating hormone release. As ovarian follicles develop, they release estradiol, which negatively regulates for the release of GnRH and FSH. As estradiol concentration peak, they trigger the surge release of GnRH, which leads to LH release, inducing ovulation. Release of GnRH within the central nervous system helps modulate reproductive behaviors, providing a node at which control of reproductive regulated.
Good day, everyone. I'm Christine Joy F. Marca from Section 1Y PMJO2 in the subject of human reproduction. And today I will be reporting about the topic of the process of hormonal regulation in females. But first, what is hormonal regulation? Hormones regulate metabolic activity in various tissues. They are one-of-kind mechanisms for signaling among cells and tissues. Hormones can be described as signaling molecules that one cell releases into the peripheral fluid or bloodstream, which alter the metabolism of the same or another cells. So the picture beside is an example of hormonal regulations. The process or role of hormonal regulation of female reproductive system. The regulation of the reproductive system in females is the process that requires the action of hormones from the pituitary gland, the adrenal cortex, and the gonads. However, during the puberty in females, as you take a look in the chart beside, is the hypothalamus produces gonadotropin-releasing hormones, which stimulate the production and release of follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormones from the anterior pituitary gland. So these hormones regulate the gonads, which is the ovary in the females, and therefore are called gonadotropins or gonadotropins. So, how hormone production is regulated? During hormone regulation, hormones are released either directly by an endocrine gland or indirectly through the action of the hypothalamus in the brain, which stimulates other endocrine glands to release hormones in order to maintain homeostasis. The hormones activate target cells, which initiate psychological changes that adjust the body conditions. So the picture beside is an example of a thyroid system which hormones regulation. The anterior pituitary gland, as you can see the red dot or the arrow below, that signals the thyroid to release thyroid hormones. To increase levels of these hormones in the blood, then give feedbacks to the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary to inhibit further signaling to the thyroid gland. There are four major types of hormone that regulates female in the reproductive system, and that is follicle-stimulating hormones, luteinizing hormones, estrogen, and progesterone. Moreover, the importance of hormonal regulation is the body functions, and that includes the growth and development, metabolism, electrolyte balances, and reproduction.